Hello, welcome back. Get a load of this. I've lost 7k after the council banned me from charging my EV outside my own house. The way they've behaved is disgusting. So you can probably see the way that this is heading. Someone without a driveway attempting to charge their car across a public footpath, and obviously the council have said, we're not having that, it's a trip hazard. Now the reason I want to talk about this is because what we have here is one of the quintessential reasons we're seeing EV sales struggle to meet their target here in the UK. Whilst the budget last week announced that it's extending the company car tax relief on EVs for senior execs to go off and buy £150,000 Porsches and Teslas, it fails to address one of the core problems that prohibits the masses from making the shift just like this. A man who has been banned from charging his electric car at home said it's disgusting. He's been forced to get a new motor. Retired mechanic David Kelsall, 76, has been pleading with the council for 6 months to let him charge his car on the street outside his home in Oldham, Greater Manchester. He does not have a driveway, so the car would have to be charged whilst parked on the street. Council officials refused to budge and insisted that an electric cable across the pavement to his electric vehicle would be a trip hazard. Arguably, it would be. He gave up going to his local public charging point as his car had been attacked by 3 yobs. So, the exasperated father of 3 decided to solve his charging crisis himself. However, he's lost £7,000 after trading in his original car for the orange Fiat Hybrid. And there he is, Mr. Kelsall, next to said orange hybrid Fiat. He said, it's shocking in this day and age that I have to come up with a solution to this. It's a crazy situation. I mean, electric cars are part of the solution to global warming and helping the planet, yet the council are standing in the way of progress and want to stop me doing the right thing. So, I've now had to trade in my electric one for a hybrid and lost £7,000 in equity. Some salesman is rubbing his hands together at that. It's disgusting, really, that I've had to do this and the council have ignored my pleas. All they kept saying was that to run a cable over the pavement from my house was a trip hazard. But you should look at the state of the pavement on our road. There's trip hazards everywhere with bumps in the roads or roots growing out of trees. It's not really a mitigating factor, though, to add yet another hazard. I can see where he's coming from, but no, it's not right. Speaking by his new car, the former QuickFit manager said, I'm not doing this for myself, but others who will have to go through this. I did think about suing the council, and I have spoken to my MP. The rules need charging for people like me who don't have a driveway. I did put out a cable, and my neighbours didn't complain. I asked them, and they said, we are 100% behind you. Michael Dolan, 73, who lives opposite him, said, I support him, but I don't think he's going to change the council's mind. The road is full of old people and they could trip over the cable. The retired engineer, who has worked in Siberia and Argentina after the 1982 Falklands War, a bit of specific detail on that individual there in this news story, said, mind you, he is right. This needs fixing as electric cars are the future. Don't get me wrong, the council are of course correct in this decision. We just can't be having cable-laden paths all over the place. But this is what gets me. Imagine, rather than the inherent focus on company cars and fleets, imagine the government turned its attention to the sky-high, unregulated public charger prices. Although it isn't cited in this article, it's a massive consideration for anyone thinking about a new or used EV. It costs more to run one of these things than it would a small petrol car if you're having to rely solely on public charger stations, which is the case for many individuals who don't have a driveway. This, as I see it, is a top-down problem. The basic impracticalities, like not having somewhere to charge, are what is causing private buyers to avoid EVs. And I say private buyers specifically here because over 75% of the EVs registered in the last month were accounted for by fleet and business purchases. And you can see why with that 100% tax relief, can't you? These cars then find their way onto the used market at the end of that lease, and even although they're depreciated often by more than half of their original value, the public still aren't snapping them up because they face the same impracticalities, and that depreciation will likely just continue. Imagine for a moment the government had said, right, okay, we're going to scrap the wealthy businesses from purchasing expensive performance-based EVs, and instead we're going to regulate and drive down the public charger price, and we're going to make it fair, accessible and safe. That, as a start, would almost certainly go further to convincing the used and new EV private market than what they're currently doing. Beyond that, I think this incessant focus on battery electric vehicles I think it's the wrong approach. If you've watched this channel for any time, you've probably heard me speak about this before. But the ZEV mandate that we have here in the UK, it means that whilst the rest of the world explores and has good success with hydrogen and sustainable fuels as an example, we continue flogging a dead horse with impractical incentives. I mean, you look at Germany, they're having good success using hydrogen, particularly in some of their heavy good vehicles. You look at some of these amazingly innovative, sustainable fuels that are massively cutting down CO2 rates. Okay, they're very expensive, but it is a solution that's here and now. With the ZEV mandate, we're not going to see any of these innovative alternatives sold here in the UK. And it really is a crying shame because we might be doing ourselves out of a more immediate, better solution. We need solutions that we actually want to buy, not because the government tells us it's good or mandate it, stuff that we actually want to buy. Now, the good thing about the UK here is we do have a plentiful used market. And if you're thinking about buying a used vehicle, here is a service worthy of your consideration. Vehicle Score. Put the plate of any car you're thinking about buying into their system. It'll tell you all the good and bad points for completely free. But if you are serious about buying it, then use the discount voucher in the description below for 15% off. I'll drop a link in there as well. But as ever, thank you so much for watching. If you found this interesting, please do hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and I'll see you next time.